And also, one thing I have to say is that the Lycan as well also so good against this AA and Oracle. You know, you just send your creeps and run at both of them, and Oracle's gonna be forced to ulti himself, and AA you're just not getting away from those things at all. Do you think this is a mid Pango, or do you think they're preserving the flexibility between the AA and the Pango, depending on the final pick here?
5 seconds remaining.
It's hard to say. I want to say they'll probably just decide after forward gaming picks, to be honest. So we're gonna see the rate. I mean, obviously it's Wraith King in the safe lane, and then it's either AA mid or Pango mid. But I think they'll just flex that depending on what they find from forward.
Yeah, and they have a fair amount of time here on forward. The troll is still left in the pool, able to be picked, and I still think that's probably the best pick I can come up with. Maybe you have some other bright ideas. You have been pretty good at getting these 10th picks.
I mean, it's not a bad anti-mage game. I'm just saying, like, this is a pretty decent anti-mage game. Like, as far as AM games go, it's not the worst. Like, he does pretty decent against Pango in the lane. If it is a Pango off lane, and if it's AA off lane, I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, and also, you know, maybe if he gets involved a bit earlier, you against the Wraith King, kill him before he hits that level 20, before he's able to use that reincarnation against the AM. But let's see if they want to go for it again.
Wow. Okay. That's a similar idea. My main thought was you want a mana burn hero in general, and you can build that on Naga Siren, but Naga Siren is just way better against Pango than AM is. And it's a hero I just forget about every once in a while, but you have the root, and being able to stop Pangolier from Rolling Thunder is huge. Yeah, no one AA, so this is Pasha Pango. This is cool, man. I really like this. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
The one thing I have to say is I'm as much as I like the draft, the VP, I'm kind of worried about the inevitability of Yawar's Naga Siren, and no one is going to have to play it so safe. If MSS gets a few good rotations mid, this could feel like a very tough game for Virtus Pro.
Oh, absolutely. I think Yawar is going to have a pretty good time top. The thing is like Pangolier into Naga Siren is like a weird interaction because they somewhat counter each other, right? Pango with Swashbuckle and Maelstrom like clears illusions super fast. But Pangolier also suffers really badly to the net of Naga Siren, and once he gets netted, she just puts the illusions on Pangolier and he just dies. So it's going to be a really good game, I think, for forward. This is a much better draft for them than last game.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Pasha, obviously, you know, you do very often see those Guardian Creeps on a Pangolier, and that should help against the net later on in the game. And
absolutely.
And once again, you know, the catch, it's not amazing for the side of forward gaming. They don't have an insane amount of catch.
More than last game, though, definitely. They have Song of the Siren, and they also have DP, who, I mean, with Spirit Siphon, it's a pretty substantial slow, but she also usually picks up like a Yule Scepter at some point in the game. So I like it.
Yeah, so let's see if Forward Gaming are able to redeem the Pyli Daichan.
High fives galore coming out from VP right now. They're having a good time. This is team morale. If there's anything to be learned here in the Dota community, this is how you should start every game. 5-man smoke, high five everyone on your team, and just run to the enemy jungle.
Yeah, the question is, are they going to find someone, or once again, are they going to be able to break the smoke? This is exactly where it burst last time. It feels about.
Ooh, they're going to run Yawar mid. Okay, so this is mid Naga Siren in the safe lane Death Prophet. We saw this, a very similar situation yesterday where they put the DP in the safe lane. And it paid off really well. It was Secret who did it. They put Nisha mid on the, I believe it was the Morphling.
Yeah, that sounds right.
30
yeah, so they put Nisha mid on Morphling, and then they put mid one safe lane on the Death Prophet, and we're going to see something very similar this game as well.
So why are they doing this? Do they feel that the Naga Siren lane against the Pangolier wouldn't be as good as the Death Prophet? Or were they fearing the Death Prophet AA matchup? What matchup are they trying to avoid here for the side of forward?
It's really hard to say. Like these lanes, like no one really knows where they want to go. I want to say they're just avoiding the AA versus Death Prophet, because Death Prophet's never going to really get on top of a hero with Spirit Siphon, or on top of like an AA with Spirit Siphon, he just sits super far back casting Chilling Touch. Whereas the Naga Siren isn't really going to get bullied out of this lane super easily, and she's just going to accelerate her farm just with levels. So that's kind of like how you make this trade, I guess.
Yeah, one thing I do have to point out is that VP, they got down this deep ward. This was the point of their smoke. So it means they actually scouted out this CCNC rotation, I think. So they know that CCNC is ending up in this top lane. But obviously, if you're the side of Virtus Pro, lane swaps don't really favor you because you're up against a Chen. You're not quite able to get whatever you want.
Bot lane. Highlight Eye just getting tag teamed. This is not a good start for them. That's your first blood going to Ramsey. You just snaking
yeah,
might turn this.
Roger, 5 quill sprays, but held in position snaking. One more, and it does actually hit up the high ground.
You make a right pincushion.
But I guess you're happy with that, really. Getting the first blood is very worth it.
Yeah, and Bristleback's not a very like tanky hero these first 2 levels. He really does need like his level 3, because once he has level 3, he at least has level 2 quill spray to kind of put out enough damage to, you know, persuade you not to chase him. But his level 1 and 2 is pretty weak, so finding a kill on the support there, forcing Snaking to blow all of his mana already, puts him in a really good position.
Yeah, obviously he does have those 2 mangoes, but you're totally right. You know, he had to use all his mana to pick up that second kill over on the Tusk, and it means he has really nothing left in the lane. Wow, he's taking so much damage, and now with the tag team damage as well coming in.
That was so good by Ramses. He gets the stun, walks around, blocks the only path that can get him to his tower. And that's, like we said, Bristleback, he's not super tanky the first 2 levels. It really takes that level 3, sometimes even the level 4, and in this tri-lane, it might take to the level 4.
Yeah, one nice thing there is Piladai using the recall, the snaking, not having to spend the 50 gold that he gets from his free TP.
Yeah, no walk of shame there.
No one versus Yuar in this mid lane is it's very interesting to see. But Yuar does seem to be winning the matchup. And again, have they caught this Bristleback? The tag team, they're on top of him. Roger is level 1. Actually drops to the Bristleback.
Yeah, I mean, that's quill spray damage. He wasn't sitting a lot of health to begin with, and the crit from Wraith King procced like 2 Bristlebacks, so he took like 3 quill sprays in the matter of like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that really hurt the Tusk. Pasha doing pretty okay here in the top lane, considering he's been left all by himself.
Yeah, CCNC, like Spirit Siphoning and like Pangolier just isn't going to happen unless he gets silenced, because he just swashbuckles away. But I feel like CCNC should be able to farm relatively well.
Yeah, Piladai with his level 2 starting to be annoying, has taken over a ghost. They have the Spirit Siphon on him. You're right, there's no swashbuckle for 11 seconds. MSS does have the Boulder Smash, and it is going to connect with Pasha, and that Crypts Orb not quite enough. MSS, will you get the last hit? No, Pasha going to survive with that salve. He just turned around, assuming he had got the kill with the Crypts Orb, and it meant he was able to get away.
Unlucky. CCNC. Bottom lane. All right, Snake King, is he in trouble, or is
Ramses already has 4 stacks on him. That's 6. They pop the stick to survive for a little longer. They need to be careful. Snake King will go down. Ramses living on a sliver of health. Wow. Fighting up against his Bristleback, it's just so dangerous. You can see how low everyone is in this bottom lane, and they're the ones with the tri-lane.
He went for the 2 points in the Bristleback to try and survive here, which is crazy. Once he gets this level 4, I don't think this is gonna work out for VP anymore.
Yeah, the mid lane is going a bit in favor of no one. I guess this is what you expect when you have a ranged lane bully like no one. But actually, seems to be winning at least in the CS. Which is, sorry, at least in the experience department, which I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, this is the power of Naga Siren. You can clear jungle camps at the same rate as you clear the jungle, or I'm sorry, as you clear the mid waves. So you just retreat to the jungle off every wave, spawn the illusions, and then clear it out as fast as you can.
Yeah, it's in the top lane, they rotated Ramses as well as Roger to the top lane. They didn't connect with the shards, but Ramses easy setup with the stun, just giving them time to get the tag team on top of the Death Prophet. And even the Spirit Siphon wasn't enough to save her.
And it allows them to secure both runes top, which is really good.
Yeah, it looks like they just didn't want the matchup against the Bristle any longer, but Snaking, he's back. So MSS, it feels like we haven't really seen the impact of this roaming Earth Spirit. Do you think that's a possibility, just a reason for this is because the Naga Siren was mid? You know, he doesn't really have that kill potential like you would have had with the Death Prophet?
Yeah, that, but also you wanted to make sure Death Prophet's lane started like fairly good, because I don't think she like has any real way to like bully out the Pangolier and secure her lane. Actually, there's an AA blast coming bot. CC and C gets clipped. C2, I mean, I don't think he dies from this, but Pangolier is hunting him.
Oh, if that Swashbuckle had connected. Oh, he needs to be careful. You can't heal for a little while. Oh, Pasha, without any points in the shield crash, and now CC and
He's
C.
got the Purge creep. Pilot Eye has the Purge creep. There's no way. Very close from Pasha.
Yeah, just overextended a little bit, trying to get that kill onto CCNC, and CCNC is going to be able to survive. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Snaking, he might be in trouble once again. Up against 3 heroes, he's all by himself, but he is A-okay, and Ramsey's getting very low.
This is where Bristleback becomes an issue. A blast coming top again, but might not connect. Not going to.
I do like what he's doing though, No One. You know, just continuing his farm and then trying to help his other lanes with his global presence.
Yawar is playing on the wrong side of the map. I think he forgot he's on Radiant this time.
Pasha kicked back, doesn't have the Swashbuckle for 1 second, and it's not going to come up in time. Yeah, he's just farming the enemy jungle. This is like he was playing the anti-mage, and it seems he's sending the illusions to cut the mid-wave periodically as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's another A blast coming out, yeah.
Yeah, they TP in. I think CNC is in real trouble. MSS rolls forward, but it doesn't really matter. No one able to claim 1 kill. MSS going to TP out. There's nothing to stop this. No level 6, and they are able to use the snowball. But a nice kill there on the, well, side laner for the side of forward gaming. You know, I want to call CNC a mid laner, but that's not where he's been this game.
I mean, this is... No one's being super, like, I want to quote-unquote active from the mid lane, right? You pointed out he just throws the AA blast around, but this time he actually TPs in to make sure that they secure this kill onto CC and C. So, very good play by him.
Yeah, and talking of how active he's been, he is going for another active item in this Rod of Atos. You know, just give the side of VP even more catch and even more control.
Not the right Naga Siren there. So VP tries to find in the jungle, doesn't really get the right one.
I mean, there's only how many Naga Sirens is it? There's only 4. You know, what are the odds that you're gonna get the wrong one? Snaking, is he? No, there's no way he's in trouble.
Nah, he's super tanky. He's fine.
But you are. They have found the real one. No One. The Ice Blast is on cooldown. They need a little bit more damage. These illusions, they're not going to offer quite enough. But we are honestly starting to see the power of what this AA can achieve when he has farm.
I really like what Pasha's doing. Just cutting the wave here. He's pretty safe, but... he just pulled in Yawar. Is he ever rolling? I mean, he has Rolling Thunder, right?
Yeah, they do have the net to hold him down a little longer, but the roll for... Oh, they actually going to chain this? They don't have the silence, and he does get it off just in time. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
He tried using that, I think, like 4 times before he actually got it off. But not quite enough control here from the side of forward. Or in another essence, not enough damage yet from the Naga Siren. So No One, Rod of Atos coming out in about 600 gold now, and that's probably when we can expect to see him make another rotation, maybe even to this bot lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The 2 supports on the side of VP are smoked up right now, trying to find a kill. They get a good ward here in the jungle, but it actually gets seen pretty much right away, so they know that this is happening.
Yeah, Naga Siren sitting for the 10-minute rune isn't going to find it, but now No One No, just in time. I take it back. The invis rune, you is able to get it. You know what got me? It was the change from daylight. You know, that isn't exactly on the 10-minute mark.
Radiant's bottom tower
There's
is under attack.
there is some dueling wards happening in the jungle, and they actually find Solo.
Dire's bottom tower
Might be able
has
to.
been denied.
Not enough damage here.
Yeah,
Radiant's top
especially
tower
with
is
Roger
under
turning
attack.
up. They're not gonna have a go at him. Ramses, I think the full Midas is on the courier, or is it? Yeah, the Midas is on the courier.
I like it. Going the phase boots first, I really do enjoy it. It allows him to kind of contest lane a little bit more against his bristleback since he was so difficult to deal with bottom lane. That's another kill for on CCNC rather, and Highlight Eye gonna get caught as well.
Yeah, Pasha just had really nice control with that Rolling Thunder. Pylite die
This is Gabe Newell.
with the help of Roger. They're just able to get these 2 quick kills in the bottom lane. Pasha got that double stun with the Rolling Thunder, and it meant Roger had time to TP in and set up with the Snowball. And that didn't even require the global presence of no one's AA blast. Yeah, no one has that ATOS completed, so he instantly TPs to the top lane. Is going to use it. They have the AA blast, but is there enough damage? Ramses, he's getting very low here.
For Cold Feet. He's actually going to survive, and now CCNC's here. Ooh, Spirit Siphon
Radiant's
not going to
bottom
stay on
tower
target.
is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Wow,
you
you
are
are
in the mid lane.
100 HP is able to TP out to safety.
That is the fun parts of Naga Siren. You always have Song of the Siren. You can always try and guarantee yourself a safe escape.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
Pasha,
attack.
I think, has completed his javelin. He's going for the full-blown Maelstrom before he goes for that Agnesceptor. How do you feel about the Agnesceptor and the Pango? I feel it's something just so cool to watch, to be honest.
It's pretty strong. I do think Maelstrom is by far his best first item. I don't think there's any hero... I don't think there's like any situation in which you don't go first item Maelstrom on Pangolier.
I mean, I have seen, you know, a bunch of times when Pangoliers are feeling underfarmed that they actually just pick up the Javelin, but they don't go for the full Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen that, but I don't think he's really suffering, and Maelstrom offers a lot in these fights, and he's going to need it to clear the Naga Siren illusions.
Yeah, that's
I'm a little bit confused for the Ags, though. Like you pointed out earlier, Guardian Greaves on him seems like it could be very beneficial for his team.
Solo has been forced to use his ultimate himself. The shards, they don't block out snaking, and Solo might be in a bit of trouble. They have the Atos, and I think Solo should live through this, but they roll forward. MSS, no one. He does have the AA blast. It does connect on top of MSS as well as the Snowball, but CNC is here. They have the control from all these Centaurs in the mid lane. They're getting very low. They found the Pangolier on the back lines. The Spirit Siphon, it's not going to kill anyone except for the Pangolier. He went down snaking Ramses. He's trying to get away. Does have 1 point in his ultimate, and he might be forced to pop it. Yes, the last hit from CCNC is going to take down that first life of the Wraith King. But now AA...
right back in.
Yeah, now with a little bit more mana to his name. Meanwhile, you are trying to take this tier 1 tower, and they will successfully get it. Exorcism, it is wearing off pretty damn soon, so I don't know if they want to continue this fight. Oh, Solo, he's slowed up, but they're not going to be able to get the kill, the AA blast, and they are going to kill this Death Prophet. She will eventually fall to it. Highlight die. They did lose Roger for that, and now Ramses, they know he doesn't have another life, is being slowed down by the Nasal Goo. They buy back a Roger. Meanwhile, on the backlines, they find MSS with the AA. You are the Rolling Thunder. Now you are. His illusions are down. They know what one's real. They don't have Song of the Siren for a little while. Tag team on top of him. They use the heal of the Chen, but it doesn't really matter, and that was a 3-for-2 trade here in this mid lane. Pylite Dyke not going to get away. Roger with that Snowball just in time, and it looks like that is going to be a 4-for-2 trade. What a massacre here in this mid lane.
So they did buyback on Roger, right? But they managed to get every like important kill that they needed. Obviously, Bristleback still survives. Snaking. It seems like Ford Gaming has like target focusing issues where they just aren't really entirely sure which hero they want to kill. And CCNC did a really good job forcing them off the tower in the mid lane, and it just seems like they stuck around too long. They could have just gotten the tower and back.
Yeah, they overcommitted as Exodus had ended. You know, they successfully took a nice fight where they took the first life of the Wraith King, where they took down the Pangolier, but then they continued looking towards their tier 2. I think Ramsey did a very good job of baiting them in, maybe thinking they could get this prized kill on the Wraith King without his ultimate.
Yeah, snaking very difficult to kill, I think, for VP. He's got the Hood of Defiance completed, just going to rush the Pipe of Insight. I think that's absolutely essential this game. This Ancient Apparition is doing so much damage in these fights. So if he can pipe up his team, maybe help them survive the Ice Blast, these fights might go a little bit different.
One thing I do want to talk about is when we talk about the Bristle Black is there anyone who you think is a really good carrier for a Silver's Edge? Like, the only person I feasibly can think might get it is Ramses.
I think even then you don't even want to do that. I think you just ignore Bristleback and try and kill the rest of his team. Like, I think you're better off doing that than building a Silver Edge on Wraith King.
Yeah, Roger
I
here.
hear a recall.
Roger here in the Radiant Jungle, and yes, they did call in Snaking. He still has his Snowball, but it's not going to be enough to get him away. They're on top of him. Nice shards block on 3 of them, but now he's held into position. He's going to buy a lot of time. They've committed the Magnetize. He has the Snowball to buy as much time as he wants. But eventually, I think he will... Wow, that tag team damage was a fair amount with the War Response, but he does eventually go down here.
You are farming the jungle here. Solo sees him.
Oh,
Siren, though.
It's unfortunate that he got the disarm there. If he got the silence, I think they might have been able to kill him.
If he's gotten the Rolling Thunder off before the Song of the Siren, they definitely kill him.
Yeah, I was going to say that this... the Rolling Thunder is something that's really good against Naga Siren because she tries to song TP out and you just start the Rolling Thunder and roll into the range of the song and it does absolutely nothing to you.
Well, mid lane, VP trying to take the first tier 1 tower there. Now this game, I feel like VP is on a little bit of a timer, right? Like they are running an Ancient Apparition mid versus Forward Gaming, who's got this Bristleback Death Prophet and Naga Siren core. So I feel like the longer this game goes on, Forward should have an advantage, but we'll see. They played really well last game on VP and they hit their timings and it pretty much right on spot. So see if they can do it again.
I think VP, they'll probably get more aggressive once they have Ramses Radiance. That's the massive item they're waiting for. But, you know, it's like we said during the draft. We use the word inevitability. And that's what it feels like if this game goes to the ultra late game for Forward Gaming. So in this bottom lane, Pasha has successfully managed to build the Maelstrom.
Oh, immediately killed. Yeah, he just gets found by no on Roger, and more than enough damage to kill him. He was just up there, kind of finding some jungle creeps to take with him.
Yeah, Ramses is applying a bit of pressure to this tier 1 mid, but the Naga Siren Illusions are just going to be enough to stop this pressure of the Skeletons. Yeah, I was just talking about Pasha, and he seems to have really done very well after this laning phase. You know, he got involved in a bunch of kills. He successfully got his farm, and he's, you know, well on his way towards the Aghanim Scepter, almost halfway there. We discussed Pasha building the Guardian Greaves, but it looks like actually no one is the one who's thinking about it for the side of VP.
I think that's normal, right? If you're going to run a hero like AA mid, going the Guardian Greaves on him is totally fine.
Yeah, and I guess that also helps with part of AA's main problem is how squishy he is. These Guardian Greaves will help him just tank up that tiny bit more.
He also has like pretty big mana issues just because all of his spells cost quite a bit and you usually end up going for that Ice Vortex cooldown. So you end up just spamming Ice Vortex so much in fights. So he really needs to have mana, and Guardian Greaves gives him that. Just the ability to always cast mana. But cast Guardian Greaves for mana.
Yes. You are, by the way, has the completed Manta style. Obviously, the Diffusal Blade coming out next. And Ramses, he's only level 13, so there will be a period of time where if they are able to catch this Wraith King with the Naga Siren, that they will be able to burn him before he gets that second life out. But I feel someone who the side of VP we're really sleeping on is Snaking. You know, he's just been putting in a solid performance in that Bristle. They might have killed him twice in the laning phase, but just looking at how well he's doing in the farm, and you know, he has the full-on pipe to help against the AA and the Radiance, and he's going to have an Aghs of his own.
I like it.
So Ramses completed Radiance. I feel this is the time VP we're waiting for. Can we expect them to group up, maybe take an objective, or at least take some sort of fight?
Yeah, I think they can, definitely. There's a lot to be said about, like, like we talked about earlier, like they are on a specific timing window versus this lineup, so
something extra.
I think they're definitely going to be trying to do that here pretty soon.
Yeah, so they've taken this tier 1 top, and unless anyone rotates from the side of Fallen Gaming, I don't see any reason why they stop at this tier 2. They have all the skeletons.
Just gonna stay bottom, right?
I mean, MSS is coming in to set up this fight, so maybe they're continuing this. Snaking has the double damage, Naga Siren farming the enemy jungle, so yeah, it looks like they're actually going to be pushed away from this tier 2.
Like haste double damage bristleback. How do you deal with this? You just can't.
Yeah,
CC is farming so fast now.
Yeah, one thing I do want to talk about is CCNC very interestingly has gone for the 4-star over, you know, what I feel is more traditional in the Yules. Is that just versus the Atos versus the Wraith King and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that's exactly why. You also have to think about shards. Like, shard blocking is a really big deal for that hero. Like, you don't want to get sharded on like a cliff and then just be stuck there and unable to maneuver in fights. So
yeah, that's
smoked up on the site here though. Forward Gaming trying to wrap.
Really good point you made. CCNC has the force off as well as the X's and Pilot Die. He does have a Centaur creep, so there is the possibility for an initiation, but I feel MSS really is going to be the one to start a fight if it does break out.
Yeah, they definitely just want to get the jump on no one. That's like their big kill target.
The roll forward. MSS, he didn't connect onto Solo, and now they're just trying to push back the Naga Siren illusions. Meanwhile, Ramses, he really wants this tower. The shards
just
block.
Gonna go split push.
They stopped Pilot Die making it to the high ground, and now the silence. It's only affected onto the Tusk. The AA Blast, it connects over here on top of MSS. I think MSS is going to go down, but will they be able to get any more? The Bristleback, he is affected by the Radiance, but didn't get hit by the AA Blast, so he will be able to heal a fair amount. And now CNC has turned up. So I think you just have to settle for that one kill, but you are. He's here with the real Naga Siren on the backlines, but do they know this is the real one? He's getting pretty low. He goes for the song. He will be able to TP out if they want to, but they're setting up for this fight.
They really want to pick off the Oracle really quickly, and they do.
Yeah, they do, and now CCNC, they're continuing in this fight. Snaking, he's pursuing forward onto no one. A few more of these kills, and he will go down. One more hit. The Atos, no, CCNC picks up the double kill there. They forced the first life there from the Wraith King, but he's slowed down by this Nasal Goo, by the Spirit Siphon, and this is going to be a second kill. Forward Gaming win a massive fight in this mid lane.
This is a huge turn of events for Forward Gaming.
Yeah,
that Song of the Siren, like Yawar, he was just kind of like farming in the meantime while that fight initially broke out, and VP turned their attention like, hey, let's just kill this Naga Siren Song, and suddenly this fight is just over for the side of VP. Like, they have no way to turn this.
Yeah, the Song, you know, it allows CNC to get in a perfect position to use the Exorcism as well as the rest of his spells. And, you know, we saw the AA just hunted absolutely down, and it was exactly as you said. They made the right decision to just burst Solo almost instantaneously. Well, we have another fight. Roger, he's silenced up. They do have a Rolling Thunder here from Pasha. He has his Aghanim set to complete it, but he's stuck on the high ground, so it's not quite enough damage. MSS, I think he will fall to the Ice Blast, but over here on the back lines, I think no one's in real trouble. Yawar doesn't have the Diffusal Blade for a little while. Solo will be able to get away from safely, and now Pasha, Yawar, he has the Aegis. He might go down the silence, which means there's no more spells coming out from this Pangolin, but they've taken the first life. But it looks like the side of VP, they might be able to retreat out of this one.
I feel like we just saw a fight in this exact area just, you know, a minute ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
this is really good. They do at least get the Aegis off of Yawar, which is really nice for the side of VP, but they don't find any other big kills. And Exorcism is going to be coming up here in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, because Forward Gaming, they didn't incur, you know, too many losses. Sure, they lost MSS as well as the Aegis, but, you know, in the next fight for them that they're going to have, you know, Naga Siren completed this Diffusal Blade a while ago. It's going to have a Scuddy be even more powerful, and this just adds to the slows. You know, Forward Gaming, they don't have that many hard disables, but they have so many slows with the Purge, the Spirit Siphon, the Nasal Glue, the Earth Spirit, you know. You might not be stunned up, but you're just not able to escape from this Forward Gaming lineup when they decide to run at you.
I mean, and speaking of the Nasal Glue, Snaking has an Aghanim Scepter, so you now have an AoE slow being applied to all heroes around him. That reduces armor, so this, I love this pickup from him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and no one completed the Guardian Greaves, but it really feels like we haven't seen a lot of him, you know, ever since he got that Atos.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And I really feel this is, you know, it's not the issue with how no one's played the hero, but it's just the curse of playing the mid AA is that it seems to just fall off this massive cliff.
I mean, he's still doing work with it, but it just seems like a very difficult game for a VP to take late, and that just seems like what Forward's willing to do. Highlight Eye gonna get caught here.
They have the vision with the Ice Vortex. You're not able to get down.
Yeah.
DC, I was curious if that was CCNC, because if CCNC had been there, he might have been able to force staff him to low ground, but no, just a nice pick off there of Pylai Die.
Yawar like considered actually songing for that. He pump faked it and was like, nah, he's just a support. I need to stay for myself.
Pylai Die, he's not worth it. He's not worth that long cooldown.
It's really not. Like, you actually need to save song in case Yawar gets caught. That's way more important.
Yeah, and talking of Yawar getting caught, Roger, actually he was just zoning him back. The rest of his team, they're more focused on this mid lane tower. But now
Snaking is just putting in work bottom.
Yeah, it's they have all the cooldowns. Are they able to kill him? They have. The Atos, the Cold Feet, it didn't actually proc. And meanwhile, there's actually another fight over here. They've found Roger, but we're going to focus, see if they are able to kill off Snaking. He is affected by the AA Blast, held in position, but do they have enough? He's lasting for so long. Pasha actually in front of Snaking, and they will finally be able to take him down. Yawar pops his mirror image illusions, but they buy back instantly on Roger. They have the disarm. Pasha continuing to roll around. The Atos holding Naga Siren in position, does have the song if he wants to use it, but now there's a nice silence. Death Prophet's here. Does have the ultimate if she wants to use it. She's not committing to it. And they have the Song of the Siren, but it looks like it's just being used to retreat out.
They might be able to chase this on here for VP. Like, we're going to have Blink up in a few seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they're running towards the shrine, but Dire scan, now they know exactly where they are. CCNC in the trees. The AA Blast, it's giving the vision of the Naga Siren. Will they be able to stop her TP away? No. No one quite in the correct positioning, but again, it looks like they're going to find Pylai Die. I mean, they don't call him the 6th position support for nothing.
Mid lane, MSS gets found here by Ramsey using Roger. This should be an easy kill. Yeah, well, there's your crit. He's going to fall immediately.
Yeah, so VP, they've won a fair few skirmishes in the last few minutes, but it still feels like they're going to have real Naga Siren issues. Like, I'm not quite sure how they kill this hero, and CCNC, instead of going towards that BKB that she had queued up earlier, felt the game was going well enough to be able to get the Ags before the BKB.
I mean, Ramsey's going to have an AC soon, and Pasha's Pangolier puts out an absolute ton of damage as well. So they do have ways of killing Naga Siren. It's just difficult because the way Yawar is playing, he's doing a very good job at making sure that he can't really get gone on. And when Song of the Siren is on cooldown, he's playing very defensively. So it really it's Yawar just playing the map perfectly.
Yeah, and Snaking is just such a good frontliner here on the Bristleblack. You know, we saw, I think it took them about 30 seconds to kill him when it was, you know, 4 versus 1. And, you know, just in the middle of a team fight, I just don't know when you're going to have time to focus down the Bristle.
Going for a Lotus Orb as his next item, which I really like just to kind of purge off some crowd control. The most notable, obviously, going to be Cold Feet, but you can also reflect Wraith Fire Blast, or Walrus Punch, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. It's exactly as you say. So for this game, you know, it feels like we're in a bit of a lull. What do both teams, what are they waiting for? And what are they looking to achieve in the next few minutes?
CCNCB's BKB is pretty much what he wants. He has the Aghanim Scepter completed. We're having a little bit of a skirmish here.
Yeah, the Walrus Punch, he's just going to go into the air, and now they have managed to find and get the AA ultimate over onto Snaking. He's caught inside the shards, but do you want to commit for this? This is a tanky Bristleback. They have managed to pop the cold feet on top of it. That's a lot of damage coming out from Pasha. CCNC is fighting from the high ground, but I think they are going to lose this Bristleback at long last. No, the song from UR just in time, and the AA blast wears off, so the all heal. UR setting up for a nice disengage, saving the life of his Bristleback, but now maybe you've cost your own. The nice silence from the low ground there from CCNC, holding on to the Exorcism. He hasn't felt the need to spend it yet, and it looks like they're not going to be able to get any kills. Solo forced the ultimate himself. You are able to get out very easily of that Atos with the Manta Style, but now Ramses, they're living for a long time. The AA blast does connect onto a whole bunch of them. So Ramses, he might die, but they're going to lose UR. They managed to take down UR, and no one. He's getting very low, trying to TP out. You're not going to be able to TP away from MSS. But Ramses, he's living through this. Snaking, he probably will drop eventually. They need a little bit more damage, but it's not going to happen when you hit into his back here on Pasha. And now Snaking, they're just manning up to if anything stop Pasha's TP. No, they don't. Solo. He looks like he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Roll forward, MSS, and triple kill for MSS.
4 kills.
So you buy back on Death Prophet, but you do manage to, I guess, take the fight on your terms. It does allow them to send Pilot Eye top to get both bounty runes as well. Both bounty runes still available in the bottom, so forward might send someone down there, but he is getting hunted by a Wraith King with an Invisor, and he is just super dead.
Killing spree.
Yes. Snaking, by the way, like, I just have to, like, he, you know, kited that fight brilliantly, you know. Naga Siren saved his life, but, you know, as soon as he had a little bit more regen, he played that so close to the edge, but was able to live through it. And CCNC made that a successful buyback, I guess. But VP, you know, they've killed off the Naga Siren for what feels like the first time to me. And now, you know, they're proving that they can win these big engagements.
She definitely needs help. I love the Scotty pickup on her, and she's going to be going for the Butterfly next. We'll probably itemize for a Heart of Tarask after that, and at that point I think she should be tanky to survive VP's damage in these fights. But Ramses is enormous. This guy has so much that he's already working with. I'm assuming he's got stuff on Kerr. Yep, there's the Maelstrom. So he's going to be going for the Mjolnir as his next item. I love this attack speed build he's coming up with. Obviously AC pretty standard, but switching to the Mjolnir, this Maelstrom now, but eventually Mjolnir is going to be doing so much damage in these fights.
Yeah, it's, and especially with all the different damage instances you have, you know, like you have Riptide, you have the spirits coming out from the Death Prophet, you'll have the Magnetize, so you're very right about the full-on Molyneux. And yeah, it looks like a smoke up here from VP. Snaking, he is not the one you want to go on, but they might feel tempted to do it.
He's got an Arcade Rune too.
For the AA blast, it has connected. He's going to be way less tanky now. They just need a little bit more damage. It's a nice silence by the Death Prophet on this high ground. Ramses, he is tanking all of this, so it looks like he probably will lose his first life. The Hand of God by the Chen. But Ramses, he's managed to get out. Blinks for the safety of his own team, and it looks like that's going to be all that's expended. The ultimate here of Ramses. MSS trying to roll forward to catch anyone, but he's not going to be successful. And Pasha just using that Aghanim shield crash to push back the side of Forward Gaming. So VP, they were the ones with the smoke, but finding the Bristleback, it's just not an easy kill for you. Worth noting, they did force out Exorcism on CCNC, however.
Yeah, that is... It's hard. That's one of the things that makes it very difficult to play against a Wraith King, right? Like, he just all-ins, sees if he can get a kill, and disengages pretty easily.
Pasha might be in trouble. He's already used the Lotus Orb. He used it to get rid of the silence. But the ultimate from Solo, it's going to allow him to live for a little while, and he is able to blink to safety. So both sides still not able to get a kill on one another. Only a 4k advantage for the side of VP. And this net worth graph, you know, it used to be in favor of Forward, but it's still not that much in favor of VP. And it's been a while since I've looked at the win percentage. And Gaben seems to think VP have it in the bag with 75%. So Snaking here in the mid lane, just dealing with these skeletons. But, you know, he's really been the standout performer for the side of Forward in this game. Got his Eye of Scotty going for the Butterfly next, and there's just no one who will be able to deal with the evasion on this Naga Siren.
Yeah, they just rely on the magic damage to deal with her, because there is a lot coming out from VP. Just from Swashbuckle, Wraith Kings, like, just damage in the fights, AA as well. Like, they do have enough damage on their team to bring her down, but she just is such a nuisance on the map right now, and she's just
Dire's
walking
top
high ground.
tower is under attack.
She's gonna pressure the tier 3 here at VP.
I think they assume that this is just another Naga Siren illusion, but finally Ramses does TP back, realizing he has to deal with this. Does he realize? No, I think if he realized that was the real Naga Siren, they would have chased a tiny bit harder.
I don't think he really expects to get the kill either. You know, he can always just TP out. Like
Yeah,
Song and TP.
Exactly. There's no point going for that. But Roshan, this is Roche number 2. The side of VP, are they able to take Roche? They don't really have that much. They don't have any minus armor to speak of other than the AC, do they?
They have a medallion on Tusk, so they do have a little bit
Okay.
more. Yeah. And honestly, Wraith King does enough damage on his own, honestly, +1 to probably take it down. But it's not easy to take a fight around the Roche pit when you're playing against the Naga Siren. We saw just yesterday what happens when a Naga Siren steals the Aegis. Granted, they were so far behind they ended up losing the fight anyway, but it's pretty easy to steal a Roshan with a Naga Siren.
Yes. So Snaking, this man, he is just so tanky on this Bristle Black already, and he's building a full on heart, and I just really don't know how VP ever expects to deal with him.
I mean, that's what makes Bristleback kind of a fun hero, right? Like, quote-unquote fun, depending on which team you're on.
I mean, for some reason, whenever it's a Bristle Black on my team, you know, they always feel like they're unkillable when they're not. But on the enemy team, they truly are unkillable.
This is the double damage Wraith King. I don't know if you want to fight into that. He has the Mjolnir completed as well, so he is going to be doing a ton of damage in these fights.
But you are
Well,
just...
no, you are.
Yeah, exactly. He's just continuing his split push. Oh, they have gone on Snaking, but he's just a Bristleback, you know. They know they can't really commit that much for him. You know, they throw out a little bit of harass, but all by himself, he's able to push them back. And Pasha?
They're baiting, honestly.
Oh my... Yuar just doesn't care about this TP back.
Snaking is just running them down now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The thing is, a Snake King can always like bait them because he has the Lotus Orb, so there's not really a good chance that he'll be able to go down. Yuar taking the tower because Pasha's joined them back mid.
Yeah, Pasha left the top lane, couldn't deal with the Naga Siren, and they're forcing out the glyph, and yeah, the rest of the team, they're trying to get back, but Snake King, he's just being very annoying, trying to keep Roger in position. But with that Shards block, he will be okay. Naga Siren goes for the song, but he didn't even use the TP just in time. But Pasha there on top of him, he was affected by the Arse Blast, and I think this might be the death of Yuar, especially with Ramses. The Hand of God, it's not going to help, and Yuar not able to claim that tier 3, and it actually cost his life. And now Snaking, he might be next on the agenda. The Shards, they latch.
CCNC is here with BKB.
Yeah, CCNC, that 4-staff, probably saving the life of the Bristleback, but they forced the buyback out from Yuar. Highlights out, obviously able to pull him right back into the midst of the fight. So now it feels to me like VP, they have a set win condition. They kill this Naga Siren, and this game can very much be theirs. But CCNC committed the exorcism inside the pit. Ramses, he's not afraid of walking in. He realizes what's going on. And they want this Naga Siren. They know that she has no buyback. The AA Blast didn't actually connect on top of her. But Ramses is just whacking away on her. Snaking, the AA Blast connected on him. They managed to get the Aegis on top of their Death Prophet of CCNC. But there's exorcism. It's already been used. So even if she dies once, it doesn't really matter. And the Naga Siren there on top of her. Tossed into the air. Naga Siren, is he going to live the Radiance burn? No, Roger actually the one with the last kit. They might lose the second life here of Ramses, but it doesn't really matter when you've lost your Naga Siren. MSS, the Glimmer Cape, it's actually saving this Wraith King for so long. He will eventually go down, falling to Snaking. But the Tusk on the back lines on top of Highlight Day. Pasha just pumping out the damage. Swashbuckle after Swashbuckle, no one on top of MSS. Will he eventually fall to that? Able to stop him getting away, but they buy back over on Pilot Eye. Snaking at full health in this fight, as well as CCNC didn't have to consume the Aegis, but you took the Naga Siren, and all it cost you was your Wraith King.
That was so, it was so good for forward because they do actually get the Aegis onto CCNC at the beginning of the fight, but as you mentioned, they got the Naga Siren out pretty early, and she's a huge part of their damage. She's just not tanky enough yet, unfortunately, and doesn't get cheese, doesn't get the Aegis, and actually, I don't even. Was there cheese in that one? I don't even remember.
Yes, yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
it is. Okay.
second Roche. I don't know who it's on actually, or
It's on
if it was
CCNC, so he
Okay.
has the cheese and Aegis. I wasn't sure if it got picked up by someone on VP, but the Ice Blast missed, so he got very lucky that it was just barely off the mark. But they just still have enough damage between this Pangolier and the AA and Wraith King to really just slowly bring down the Naga Siren
Dire
in these
are
fights.
scanning.
Yeah, Pasha just with that shield crash after shield crash, this Aghanim Scepter, it's absolutely insane the amount of damage he's able to pump out. And you know, very soon he's gonna be able to drain all of your mana. He's not that far away from a Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, that Diffusal is going to be insane.
Where did I go?
So Forward Gaming, it does feel to me like they're slipping behind, you know. I really thought they would be the ones winning the late game, but Ramsey's over on this Wraith King. He is looking surely very strong with this Molyneux, and especially once he gets that Reincarnation cast Wraithfire, you just have all that much more control for your team fights.
Yeah, the Pasha and Ramses are putting so much damage out in these fights. Snake King as well. Like, he's in a similar situation as Pango, where they don't really have a lot of ways to lock him down and kill him, and he just runs around causing havoc. But Pangolier offers a whole different level of control.
Yeah, so we are approaching that point of the game where I think it's worth talking about level 25 talents. You know, we just talked about Wraith Kings. Is there anyone else who you think has a truly game-changing one?
To be honest, I think Ancient Apparitions might be one of the best. The 700 AoE Cold Feet is pretty insane going into the late game. If you pretty much can guarantee you're going to hit multiple heroes with that, at least 2 or 3. And that's pretty devastating in fights. I think for Bristleback, neither of his are, I don't know, I would say like neither of his are that important. I imagine he goes the Warpath damage per stack, but I really don't know.
Yeah, he's already so survivable. I don't think he needs any sort of spell lifesteal. And he actually, I think he almost has the money for his full heart if he wants to buy out.
Yeah, I don't know. What is DP? I think most of the time you see the Exorcism Spirits just because it's so much more damage. The Exorcism grants haste is really nice in this game just because there's so much going on in these fights, but it's really hard to turn down 8 more spirits. It's like a whole nother level of your ult.
So VP, they have smoked up as well as the side of Forward Gaming, but it looks like TCNC, he's actually been the one to show himself on the top lane, and it's no Virtus Pro, they're actually not chasing after the Death Prophet. I thought they might have a crack at him, but they want to catch someone else, it seems.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it was really nice. You are actually cut top wave and middle, so if VP's not showing in any of those areas, you kind of have to assume they're smoked. And they actually pull CCNC over.
Pasha, actually the one to initiate, grabs an Arcane Rune, the silence, but it doesn't really matter because there's the Lotus Orb. The AA Blast, it only connected on MSS, so it's not really that much. Pasha inside the Rolling Thunder. I don't think he's really looking to engage. He's just using it to be able to escape out, but Solo, CCNC, he's on top of him. So Solo, the Diffusal Blade, does have a Ghost Scepter of his own, but I don't think he's going to be able to live the Glimmer Cape. And on the back lines over here, we have a bit of a fight. So they've taken down Solo inside the Roche Pit, and now Snaking, he's over here on top of Roger. Roger goes into Snowball to be able to survive a bit longer. Ramses, he's going to lose his first life very quickly. Pasha in the Rolling Thunder once again, pumping out damage after damage with that Shield Crush, but they're probably going to lose the second life over here of this Wraith King. He's not healing enough. And now Pasha, the Rolling Thunder, it's over. He's trying to pump out as much damage as he can. Now Snaking, they have managed to take him down. They've lost the Naga Siren. They've lost their Wraith King, but he buys back instantaneously. Pasha, all the damage in that fight. A full-blown triple kill for him.
The amount of damage that Pasha is doing in these fights is insane. And Ramses too, like he manages to survive for so long, but just those 2 heroes alone are pretty much the entire damage side of VP, like almost 10,000 just on Pasha.
Yeah, well, the Wraith King, 9,889, and Pasha almost, that's absolutely insane. So they get a full team wipe, they get a buyback from the Bristleback. Bristleback dying for the, one of the first times it felt like he was absolutely immortal, and this is just going to be a lane of racks. I think they know
think
there's
it's
still
more
no
than a lane of
buyback.
racks. They don't have buybacks.
Is there
This is-
the buyback on the Naga Siren? They know, is it? Yeah, they know it's time related. They know there's still a minute left without the Naga Siren. Well, actually 30 seconds because of her respawn. And you're right, that's just 2 lanes of barracks, and this puts VP having a firm
They're gonna
advantage.
go tier 4s, I think, maybe. Like,
Radiant's
do they
bottom
really
barracks
slow down here?
has fallen.
The stun on top of Snaking. If they kill this Bristleback, they know he doesn't have any buyback. He literally just used it. Is he able to make it back into the shrine? He's getting very low. The AA blast, they take him down. That's 120 seconds without a Bristleback. Living on a sliver of health is this Urspirit. So they do have the Naga Siren, but they know there's no Death Prophet. They can assume she has no buyback because she would have used it earlier. And Naga Siren has come back to the world of living, but it's not enough. Ramsey's just laying into these tier 4s. Has Forward Gaming lost this game?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, there's no stopping Ramsey. He's just clicking buildings, and they're desperately just using Song of the Siren to stall this out. Wait until CC&C gets back up, but
Is under attack.
But CC&C another 20 seconds will have the Exorcism when he respawns. I'm not quite sure it's going to be enough. They're looking for initiation, and Ramses, he blinks in. The AA blast, it doesn't connect. It's a nice force, but Naga Siren, it doesn't really matter. She's not tanky enough. She pops a Mantis style, but she's dead once again. That's 84 seconds. So they might have CC&C, but they have no Naga Siren. And Forward Gaming, they are going to lose this game 2-0. VP, great fights in the end of this game.
Radiant's
that game was fairly even for a while, and then 2 fights, and then it's just over. VP, like, these heroes just came online.